With the album title like What's Your Pleasure, you could answer that in a variety of ways. I will be thinking mostly of musical styles, which varies a lot. But thankfully, I can answer this album. Welcome back to Y.E.S, everyone. Today we're going to talk about What's Your Pleasure, the fourth studio album released by Jessie Ware. Once again, this is one of those incidents where I stumble upon an album I think this might have some qualities that I might be interested in. This was not going to be one of my albums to prioritize to listen. And then funny enough, I kind of just started looking for music that has been at the top so far for the first half of 2020. And a couple of lists actually had this album on it. So I thought maybe I should listen to this more intently than just put it on the potential back burner of all these reviews I would like to do. And by golly gee, I am so happy that I did, because this album is amazing. I think the best way to describe this album is pop-centric with a little bit of synth and ever so slightly adding some disco to it as well. Minutely, but it's there. I will say there is something about artists that come from the motherland, England, from my ancestral background at least, that does have me captivated. Not everything, but a lot of it. Definitely a lot of it. And my being just swells with joy internally when I can recognize from the very first song that something is going to make me happy. And not just there, somehow it can give me a promise that the next song and throughout the album, I will be splendidly, happily surprised. This music doesn't feel like it's trying to reach out to as many people as possible in the masses, but it does feel like it is inviting those who have the vision to understand you are being welcomed to something unexpectedly fantastic. So I guess we should just start getting through the good stuff, right? The very first song, Spotlight. This song definitely includes its disco element that I had mentioned earlier. It does feel like near the end it's going to push the boundary of outstaying its welcome, but thankfully around the end it does switch up enough to be able to feel like, oh, okay, well, I can live with getting to the end of this song now. So thankfully she recognizes that when music kind of does that, she knows how to make it worth your while to get to the end. The song Ooh La La, I like this song. It's very playful. It talks a lot about men and chivalry. And there's a part of me that is trying to understand. I know it's trying to talk seriously about it, but it's somewhat sarcastic at the same time. The word playful really is the best word to kind of give you a better idea of how it's trying to take all the sides that you can imagine that would be positive or roughly negative on those subjects, and then just kind of put it into a song that you can enjoy, but at the same time, oh, you know what? I actually am thinking about this. And then you kind of embrace the good that should come out of it. And then you can go about your merry way and keep enjoying the song. The song Soul Control is one of many songs in here that has a very strong bass. And it's actually this bass that kind of feels like it guides the rest of the song. It feels like it pushes the melody forward. It's not just in the background to be part of the song. It's not there to just be like, oh yeah, I guess that is an element that is needed. And it has a very cool warped guitar near the end. The song Save a Kiss. Simple, but clever. Clever lyrics. The song Adore You. This one is interesting because the music feels like it is in control, and her vocals and lyrics just so happen to flow with it well. But the music feels like it has its own destiny and control, kind of all warped together. The song In Your Eyes has kind of a seductual beat to it, along with that bass that I mentioned before, but this time a little bit faster. Pretty confident that it goes along with an eighth note pattern. Now, the song Step Into My Life. The instruments in this song are all gorgeous. I'm going to paint a picture for you, okay? So, if you've seen The Incredibles, the first one, you remember the character Mirage, who is the one who initially gives Mr. Incredible his first real secret mission. This song makes me think this is kind of like a theme for her, and we're kind of following her going into a gala. And then it turns into that sophisticated moment that feels like a James Bond movie. That, my friends, is the picture that I see when I hear this song. Is that cool or what? The song Read My Lips I really like. It has a pretty clever smooch effect that you could miss if you, again, are not paying attention to some of the minor details in the production. I can see why you might miss it if you're not in the zone, but I feel like it would be so hard to not be because it's infectious. So, yeah, quite a bit there. Do I have negatives? Just a couple of small ones here. The song The Kill I do enjoy, although I will say the tempo feels a little slower. It doesn't really feel dragged, just kind of slower. Just feels like it could be slightly more upbeat, but it's fine. And it does pick up near the end, so it kind of recovers. And then the album's self-titled song, What's Your Pleasure? This song is interesting. It has a dreamlike quality to it. However, there is a part of me that does feel like the song thematically is kind of pushing itself between two categories of odd versus interesting. Interesting, depending on who you are, can be a potential positive or a potential negative. If I describe a song as odd, I think most people's first reaction would be more negative than it would be positive. There is a chance for it to be that, but odd more than interesting would get more of the negative feel. And I find myself in a little bit of conflict in certain moments in this song. But overall, you can still listen to it, and I wouldn't blame you if you really like this song. I am just kind of, I don't hate it. It feels slightly more out of place than the rest of the songs in here, but I don't think it hinders the album really, if at all. I'm curious how many other people are giving this album a shot, because I don't feel like it's going unnoticed, but I have a hard time thinking that it's becoming a mainstream staple. And so far this year, this is one of the most impressive albums I've listened to as a whole. This is one of those albums where I'm like, you know, I might get that. So, after having listened and reviewed this album, I'm going to give production an A+, creativity an A, expression and lyrics an A, and how would I recommend this album? It gets...
Yes, marvelous, isn't it?
This is another one of those awesome moments where I'm so thankful that something did not bypass me and go under the radar, because I do think there is a shot that that could have happened. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want to follow more of me, be sure to check out my social media links down in the description below, and be sure to leave me one of these, a like if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to leave a comment if you also want to engage with me. And remember, if you want to discover, promote, and review the best in entertainment, be sure to subscribe to this channel so you can get that yes in your life. See you next time.